This is the world's blackest paint, which absorbs 99% of all light. And I decided to build the brightest room filled with lights, and then using the black paint, the world's darkest room. But what happened surprised me. This is the world's brightest room. This is the final black room. I'm gonna spend 24 hours in each to see what happens to my body. And the 24 hours starts now. Okay, this is hour 1. This room is the darkest room I think I've ever been. Like, you literally can't see your hand in front of your face. So apparently, if you're in darkness for long enough, complete darkness, then you could actually begin to develop night vision. We're gonna see if that's true. Alright, this is hour 1. I don't know how easy it is to see on camera, but this is very bright. Give you a quick little room tour. There you go. Already, the lights were blinding me and it was starting to give me a headache. I was curious to see which room was harder. In the dark room, I started to instantly feel tired, but this was nothing compared to what was coming. It's hour 2, not much has happened yet. I'm really curious to see if this does anything to my body or my mind. I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, it's hour 2. I get to know the time because I have someone watching me from the outside. But it's kind of difficult to tell how fast time is going by. Kind of being here, surrounded by nothing. It's making me extremely tired. It feels like I'm blind now. The only thing you can get is when you press your eyes a little bit. Get those sensory things, feel all the stars. Anyways, I'm super tired, so I think I'm gonna have a nap. Okay, it's hour 3. I'm gonna be honest, this is like, it's how do I explain this? Okay, I've noticed I'm kind of starting to feel kind of annoyed. It's like everywhere I look, there's just like white lights in my eyes, and it's just like, it's making me feel a little like disoriented, I guess. But we'll see what happens. Hour 4. One thing I found is that you feel like you're seeing things that aren't actually there. You know, it's nothing crazy. I'm not going crazy or anything. You kind of feel the sense like you're being pulled in that direction. Now you might be wondering why you see shadows, and it's probably not what you'd expect. This camera has a special feature that can record infrared light, where these 2 little dots emit a tiny red light that you can barely see with your eye, but it bounces off the entire room and back into the camera, which can pick everything up. Okay, it's hour 4. It's freezing in here. The heater died, so while that's getting fixed, we got this blight in. So far, the experiences in both rooms were similar. I wanted to see which one was harder, but at that moment, the similarity between both of them is that I started to want what the other room had. Listen. You hear that? It's nothing. I think I'm getting used to the light. I'm not sure how it's gonna be to sleep, but I kinda like the fact that it's just like, I'm just by myself. Like, I feel like right now, it's like super stress-free. Kinda feel like I'm in heaven. If heaven was really, really cold. Hour 5. I did a little bit of exercise, a little bit of stretching. So apparently the sun hasn't set yet, but I'm kind of getting this sense like my body feels like it's night. I already slept a little bit, but it feels like I should sleep. Maybe I'll end up waking up super early, or maybe I'm gonna end up sleeping longer. Yo, it's food. This is gonna be good.
I got the electric heater.
Okay, let's see. Okay, hour 5, we got heat. 8. Time was starting to feel a lot slower. It had already felt like I'd been here for a whole day already, and I was getting bored. But despite being isolated in both rooms, each room felt very different, as you're about to see. Hour 8. One thing I'm really noticing is like a huge sense of boredom. There's nothing to do, right? So you're kind of just sitting with your thoughts, but you're just not in a productive way. I don't feel like I'm here with my thoughts. I feel like I just want to sleep. In the brightest room, it was actually really hard to sleep, so there was a lot of moments for me to like kind of sit with my thoughts and be able to get new perspectives. But here, I just feel bored. Okay, I'm gonna figure out how to get warm for the night. This thing's blowing on me, but if I lie down, now it's blowing over me. It doesn't blow low enough. That's nice. What about I discovered a hack. It's still so bright, you can like see how bright it is through the blanket. But we got the heater inside, and it's like super warm. It's super nice. I think I might sleep like this. Oh, that's super warm. Oh, that's so warm. Wait, if I put that here, and then fill this in there, this is like a little sauna. Update, I just slept for the last, I don't know, number of hours, and I'm still tired. I need to do something to wake myself up. So far, this white room isn't too bad. Honestly, the hardest part is it's a little disorienting at times, but it's not terrible. There's not really any way for me to escape the light. If I go under the blanket, I can still see. I try and keep my head outside the blanket, but other than it occasionally being annoying, it's not too bad. It's kind of a vibe. Just alone in a white box. Besides, what does it mean to be alone anyways? I'll update you when something interesting happened. Something interesting happened. I got an idea. Nothing interesting happened actually, but that got your attention, didn't it? I've decided I'm gonna meditate. We'll see how that goes. Let's get nice and warm. Bring this around. I'm getting ready to go to bed. Lights are still on, but it feels a little unnatural. But I could think of a lot worse. My guess is that this room is going to be easier than the van to black room. So we'll see in the end which one's worse. As the night went on, I felt I actually started to adapt to each of the rooms.
If you're wondering how to go to the bathroom,
I wouldn't say one was harder than the other, but I was curious to see if the dark room would actually give me night vision. The sleep last night was not that much. It was actually really difficult to fall asleep. Big surprise. I mean, the ground's not the comfiest and the lights are really bright. I managed to fall asleep for a few hours, but then of course, you know, I woke up very early. I feel kind of tired still, but I feel very stimulated. I feel like this is kind of like when you're on your phone for too long and, you know, don't fall asleep. Actually, I feel like this maybe could even be a takeaway to not be on screens. You know, they say like don't use screens before bed, but like this is kind of really making me understand why. I feel a little bit like a zombie. Anyway, by this point there's only a few hours left. And now, as the 24-hour mark came up, it was finally time to see if I'd actually developed night vision, and this was kind of surprising. When I came out, this is what I saw.
Alright, whoa.
But it lasted only for a few seconds. Subscribe for what's coming next.